child and a mother. It's very difficult for us to describe it correctly before he was even born. He's within her love, right? And so he can never come out of that, and she can never hate him. And how is it between us, this unconditional love between the friends? That's when we reach the degree of the Creator who loves everything and everyone. Then we come to the degree of love which is unconditional. Can so from his love we understand what it means to love. Yes, all right. Yes, but I heard from you there no objective view. Person always looks from his correction or corruption, and in unconditional love there's the second stage where not only looks at the merit of their friend through what's happening passing through him, but through the friend's attitude toward other friends. With which vessel can he observe the attitude of the friend to other? How from looking at the merit of a friend toward him you can go to the merit of the friend toward others. A person always sees the way one person relates to another within his own vessels. He pictures it to himself how it could be if he was in a different place, if it was aimed towards him, or he aimed it at someone else, towards someone else. Only according to that can we perform this calculation. So he comes to such a level where he, with the sensitivity that he develops, he feels what the friend feels toward another friend. It's very difficult, but it can be. Yes, that's how we imagine it until we reach the true state. Yes, says you should know that all the inclinations and better than a person to use toward his friends, all those natural inclinations are needed for the work of the Creator. Person works, he discovers that these qualities the Creator created in him actually blemish the love that he needs, or they blemish the what he's supposed to be doing with the friends. So he begin to hate these qualities, and he written that he needs to use them. How do you come to move from a state where you feel those qualities in and you are harmful to the work of the friend or unusable? What does he do with them? He's supposed to use them. How he uses them? By first awakening them and then rising above the mean. First of all that they use them through, they are used through negation. Yes, so all these qualities in the beginning we need to maybe can explain how, maybe just another word or two, how when something awakens in him, let's say he has this quality where he wants to get to it, but there's a quality that stops him. There's no righteous man in the land who does good and never sins. So how does rise above it? He has to go through all the sins, and we see that from the texts, and by going through them he also acquires a new outlook, new attitude towards them, and he corrects them. New attitude is not happen immediately. It's like he gets frustrated more and more from another quality and another quality in him. What does the process build in a person? Builds vessels in him, but all the vessels are in negation. He feels that how incapable he is. No, now he turns them as though he digs in the ground. He raises them, turns them around, inverts them, and then begins to receive a new degree in them. What is this action of inverting them, turning them upside down? He feels them that they're harmful, but he turns them around. How does that happen? The same way we want to transition from in order to receive to in order to bestow. The action itself can be the same exact action, and the outcome could also seemingly be the same outcome, the same result, but in the middle there I how to put it. I performed the act of inversion. This action, I think we need to learn how to do it, because many times I see me, and with the friends we come to a certain point where we feel it, and it pushes a person away because it doesn't know to use it correctly. So he prefers not to harm the ten, not to do bad. So he takes a step back, maybe dealing with his inability. Maybe that sort of an action of will help work in the field. Yeah. Cree, what is being negligent in love of friends? I check myself, see that I'm negligent in love of friends. You examine yourself, you want to see, you want to find where you received states that you went through and disregarded, and then you don't know how to correct them, how to ask the Creator to correct them, and from that point he comes and corrects You everything I see with my own vessels. If I discover corruption in my attitude toward the friends and I don't ask for correction from the Creator on this connection, is this negligent being? Negligent, I don't understand if I discover in my vessels corruption in my attitude toward friends with that discernment where I see that my attitude is not good toward the friends it's not would love and I'm not asking the Creator for correction, is this negligence? Yes, so every opportunity the Creator, when the Creator brings us such states, I have to ask for correction because only the Creator can correct my attitude. If you discover the corruption, then you can ask for correction too. There needs to be preliminary work done. Yes, can all right. Yes, Shalom. Shalom, I just want to summarize it shortly. Conditional love is when a person is not able to relate it to the Creator. He restricts himself, limits himself, tries to not to relate to the FLS, and he bestows 40-50% whatever he can. Unconditional love is when he is capable of relating everything to the Creator, and then if he sees flaw or not, he is able to bestow. This umbrella covers the state. Yes, so it doesn't matter the state you're in, you're able to bestow. Is this a correct direction? Relatively speaking, so make it more precise. No, can't make it more precise. It needs to become clear from the actions, but in general you speak correctly. Yes. Continue, so you don't really discover the Creator, only see the ramification from his work. Yes, so what is? I don't understand. What is this love? Where is this love? Who it's like between the vessels, not inside of them ever, or maybe it's in them and then it comes out of then. Yes, I don't have words. I'm trying to get you to help me express it better. Articulate it. You speak true, it's correct. The main thing is how we transition from revelation to correction, and that depends on the preparation of the group. The preparation of my connection to the Creator depends on the study which we conduct together, and hear many different things, many different causes. Accumulate till you reach your ass. You write some. I remember if it's your teacher about does work in anning of reality and in existence of reality. This is two parts. First, you cancel what you perceive initially, and then you sustain a new reality. So love is the end, is what you want to get to, an in sustaining reality, but before that there is nothing. Before that there's nothing but the yearning to retain it. This is the instrument. This is the work. Yes, you're right. Is this enough? I feel it's incomplete. Is it enough for you all? Right, wait, we have a few more lessons to go and we'll see, we'll discover more, but so far it's true. Correct, good. Can I ask you a general question? 20 letters ago we reread that Bam wrote that the Creator is concealed in the Torah, and he asks how can he be concealed in the Torah? He's concealed in all the folds of the world, not in the Torah, but he says that specifically in the Torah. He says that he's hiding there, and those who search me will find. About the text today, it's clear that it's not clear from all the places I can't find myself, but from that after 20 letters I understood that maybe that's why I got a headache. The Creator is concealed in the Torah. My question is it possible that we are reading the text, let's say what we read today, and 20 items later we'll receive an answer? This attitude, this only today we are beginning to talk about a solution. We just started then. You right. I was confused because of all the questions I want to ask. What we are reading about love, absolute, conditioned, unconditioned, these are degrees of revelation of the Creator, degrees of attainment or degrees of justification. Yes, is it correct to translate it to relationship between the friends, or is it only speaking of relationship through the Creator? Let's follow the text and not skip ahead above it. Yes is asking, he writes about it in 69, the essence of love of the Creator from the way man relates to his friend. So from that we have to get to something in that we cannot perceive, which is love. to the creator item. 74. 74. Okay. 74. Note that these 4 attributes of love between man and man also apply man and the creator. Moreover, here in the love of the creator they become degrees through cause and consequence. It is impossible to acquire any of them before one acquires the first attribute of conditional love. After it is completely acquired, that first attribute causes one to acquire the second attribute. After one has acquired the second attribute to the fullest, it causes him to acquire the third attribute. Finally, the third attribute to the fourth attribute. Eternal love can, yes, meaning here that the way is already wide open. Next. 75. 75. Accordingly, the question arises, how can one acquire the first degree of love of the creator, the first degree of conditional love, which is love that comes through the abundance of goodness that one receives from the loved one when we accept that there is no reward for a mitzvah in this world. Moreover, according to the above, one must go through the first 2 forms of providence by way of concealment of the face. In other words, his face meaning his measure of goodness. The conduct of the good is to do good is concealed of that time. Therefore, at that time one experiences pain. After pain and suffering, nevertheless, we learn that the whole practice of toe and work out of choice is conducted primarily during that time of concealment of the face. If so, how can it be that one will be awarded the second attribute of conditional love, being that the loved one has always done only wondrous and plentiful good, and never caused him any harm at all, and it goes without saying that he will be granted the third degree, or the fourth is that clear meaning. Now it already follows the order, the gradation. 76.7. Indeed, we dive into deep water. Here at the very least we must fish out a precious gem from this. For this reason let us examine the words of our sages when the sages would come out of the house of Rabbi Armi, and some say from the house of Finer, they told him the following: you will see your world in your life, and your end to the life of the next world, and your steps shall run to. Hear the words of you must understand. Why did they not say you will receive your world in your life, but only see if they wanted to bless, they should have blessed, holy meaning to acquire and receive his world in his life. We must also understand why should one see his next world and his life, at least his end will be the life of the next world. Moreover, why did they place this blessing first? Okay, there's no question about the text itself. Okay, let's stop here and let's move on to the next part. So let's go to the next part and sing a song first. Mommy, for me, for. Hello, we are in a lesson about incorporation. We are going to read selected excerpt from our sources, or going to continue from excerpt 3. You can find the study materials on and the system. You can also ask questions there. Whoever asks from down here, please stand up and hold the microphone close to your mouth. EXD number 3 by BAM. The body with its organs are 1. The whole of the body exchanges thoughts and sensations with each of its organs. For example, if the whole body thinks that a certain organ should serve it and please it, this organ immediately knows that thought and provides the contemplated pleasure. Also, if an organ thinks and feels that the place it is in is narrow, the rest of the body immediately knows that thought and sensation and moves it to a comfortable place. However, should an organ be cut off from the body, they become 2 separate entities. The rest of the body no longer knows the needs of the separated organ, and the organ no longer knows the thoughts of the body to serve it and to benefit it. But if a physician came and reconnected the organ to the body as before, the organ would once again know the thoughts and needs of the rest of the body, and the rest of the body would once again know the needs of the organ. Yes, it is written in a simple way. Are there any Questions none. Well, let's continue. Wait a minute. Die. What I don't have direct questions about. The allegory I'll try to go to what it means. There's friends in the group that we want to feel ourselves as one body. So what does it mean that a certain organ feels a different organ? What does it mean that a friend feels a different friend with all the senses that a person has? He can feel another person. It's difficult to depict but this is what we need to believe, that this is how it is. Can I really feel a friend, or do I feel myself? No, you feel yourself, and inside this image you can also feel the clothing of the friend. What is the clothing of the friend that wasn't in me earlier? You didn't feel, you didn't relate, or you didn't ascribe the friend to yourself. Where is now, because you feel yourself and how he influences. You can perform a certain action where you receive his impression inside you, and you can continue with that. What impression can I feel? An impression from a friend isn't it? Is the projection of my egoistic desires, possibly. Yes, so what friend do I feel? I feel myself, except for that. What does a person have? It is possible that you want to feel not yourself, but rather the friend, the way he is unrelated to you, and then can you truly attain his personality? How can I feel the friend here disconnected from myself? Just feel him. I don't understand. How can you feel an entity of someone that it's not through me, through my vessels, through my desires, but it's really something pure? It is difficult, but it is possible when we say to feel the sorrow of the friends, or to be happy with the happiness of the friend. So what sorrow do I feel of the friend, or is it my own sorrow, whether I were in his state? Here you already see, according to your own words, that we have to perform a few actions in order to reach this result. We need to feel the image of the friend inside of our desires, my desires, and then try to disconnect them, separate between them, and then to and now or disconnect the image of the friend from within my own vessels. What is the image of the friend? That is an enemy, that it's his pure image. There is no such thing. If you feel him, then he is clothed inside of you, and if he's clothed in me, so then it's no longer him or you, but rather something in the middle. What clothed in me to begin with? I say it was in me, and to begin with I already grasp him in that, in those vessels, that image, right? So you perceived him, and you brought him to clothe within you. It means that it's no longer his or yours. What wasn't in me before that now clothed in me as an image of the friend. What is this innovation that's in me now? In my perception, his image. What is his image? Official. It is his character, his relations. It's everything that you did not feel before, but you know you do feel it, and that isn't in me. What's in him? No, it doesn't exist in you. Why do I need what's in him? The Creator has arranged it in such a way so that we will have a connection between us. That's in order to create a connection between us. I need what's in him in order to create it, so that we will see this connection as something that is necessary, that by it we can reach the purpose of creation, and that image of the friend that is clothed in me. That's something new, that's incorporation. Yes, are there exercises to come out of ourselves and clothe the image of the friend in us? This is everything that we study. How do I bring myself to more identification with a friend? If I feel I don't have any empathy or feeling towards a friend, I just don't feel it. Don't feel his sorrow. Maybe everybody sorrow with him, but I don't feel it. Maybe everybody's happy with him, and I'm not. I'm indifferent. How do I bring myself to that feeling when I don't have it? Everyone likes that, even the most sensitive person. Nevertheless, he doesn't have it. How should we behave in such a case? It's to pray, to ask that the Creator will bring us closer, that he will open up for us the heart of the friend. And if I feel that I'm becoming more indifferent towards friends, to what the friends are going through, not the friends themselves, but what they're going through, I become, my senses become more and more dull towards what's happening to them. So what can I do? You were given to begin with, even before these questions, the connection with your Friends, you need to try to awaken this connection with all your qualities. Think you can. Yes, I can understand what it means to feel the sorrow of the friend or the happiness of the friend, but I don't understand what you said. How to separate the image of the friend from my own vessels, that's the next stage. We didn't talk about that. Yet we will talk about that. Yes, when we speak about love, it's a change in my relation towards someone else or everybody, or creation. When we speak about incorporation, it's still change only in me, meaning, is there something mutual in incorporation, or is it still a change in my relation when I include something in me too? Am I dependent on L incorporating me too, or can I incorporating him without him participating? The other one is correct, that I have to incorporate him. Yes, no good. Mourning me as a separate organ from the body. How can I carry, let's say in happiness, I can somehow be a partner of the friend, but how can I carry a pain, the friend's pain from the experience I had? I want to help a friend carry his pain. There's a state a friend is going through, but I didn't know how to take his pain from him and to truly relieve him a bit from the experience I'm going through now and everything that's happening in the tens and the group. I felt I can't because it's not my pain. You see, he is going through it, but I want to be a partner and I can't, so turn to him and try to connect. Vessels, I have nothing to add. Yes, okay. Good. Morning before we learned about incorporation, I was sure that my incorporation with the friends will show may teach me how to anal, and since we started studying this a few days ago, I hear that before the incorporation I have to anal, that annulment comes before incorporation. Yes, thank you. I'll ask maybe a question of a beginner from the first lesson, but just to clarify a point, there are people that are very sensitive, and that's their nature. They can feel your pain, they can even describe it to you. They can feel what you're thinking. That's their nature, and there are people that even make it their profession. What does a callist have that they don't in the way they feel? The others, I mean, has the feeling of their internality, their desire. What is it stem from, and where is it drawn to? Is that a feeling, or is it a discernment of his that process? Well, let's say in between this and that, it all depends on the person himself, to what extent he is in researching, poking into and applying these things. Why before the sensitivity do we need our heart to be blocked? Why first does that block come and then the opening? Why can't we just open gradually, more and more? Because every degree, every attainment in spirituality stands on its own. What does that mean? That it's not the same vessel you had before. There needs to be a new suck, a new coupling, a new development of the light in the whole 10 vessels, and so on. And that feeling he's talking about here, about the whole body where the organs are connected, so that's what we have to aspire towards, to feel the whole body. Yes, asked about feeling himself and not feeling the friends, that he feels that it's him. For me, supposedly the opposite. I can't feel where I am and what my qualities are, but the relationships with the friends, like I feel the friends' qualities. Can I recognize my own qualities, or is it just something general, all the qualities of all the friends? It does quite matter if these are your qualities or not your qualities. The most important is that the Creator wants you to scrutinize things through them, and he elevates you in them. So I shouldn't search for my own qualities. No. Well, what's the difference? Thank you. What's the difference when we speak about everything we're studying about in our work, where we talk about connection between the bodies, or when he's speaking about souls? How's that expressed here in what we just read? He spoke about a body. It means the desires. We learn that we don't connect in desires. No. Well, because never we do connect, we influence each other. The different ways of bestow is correction of the body, and when we say body, it's what you just said. Yes, thank you. Love PT 38. Women are asking, after we take the friend's pain, how can we ascend from there and not remain with the friend inside the pain? How to ascend along with the Friend, we connect with. Him, we embrace. Him, and we elevate both of us. Together from that place, that pit. And we elevate us until we elevate. Him until we feel that we can perform a coupling on that desire that we discovered with the light that will be revealed. That's it. Okay, yes please. A friend, for example, if he's distant, he's not a partner, and he's not participating in the actions of the 10 morning lessons, and he doesn't leave, so I can't know what he's lacking in the work. I can assume that he's lacking importance, that he maybe has guilt feelings, he feels like someone that has such a debt in the bank that he doesn't know how to close off the gap. But in my relation towards him, in his state, does he have something that isn't in me? Have to observe deep inside me and see where I am in his state, and it's like the work is double. I have to row with 2 hands with the friends in the work, and on the other hand also be sure that the rope towards that friend with the lifesaver, he's in that I'm holding it tightly, and to constantly pay attention to it. Or should I pay attention while I'm rowing to make sure I have an active point in the heart that I'm supposedly sending him into the water, like having mercy with him, and maybe in the future I find a connection with him. Do we do everything, or is it better, for example, they just hold on to him? I have like this code, let's say, I don't know, from childhood or from the army, that I don't give up on anyone, even the one that is the most distant. Well, whoever left. Every so often he remembers, so we pray. But that friend that I'm inviting to the meal, even though inside my inclination tells me he won't come, but I feel here there's a great opportunity. Now there is a possibility that he might come. So I have to keep going and keep inviting him, or should I just let go and expect that he'll acquire his world in 1 hour, and he'll appear and sit with us? How will he acquire it? What? How will he acquire it? The more I add efforts in understanding, even though I'm not getting anything out of this, that his entrance or exit, that's what prepare that realities of their friends and the Creator that is keeping that connection to raise divinity from where dust, so specifically that distant friend, he is before my eyes, and I have to add something for him, that if I'm doing this I have to add a bit more. Always find that is correct, that's correct. Yes, is it something that's important that we discuss in the 10? Yes, the Creator likes that. Thank you. Incorporation is when I add the friends' deficiencies to me, and I pass the pleasure to the friends' desires, and then I enjoy in those desires that I've connected to me. Incorporation is when you have connections between you in which your desires connect, and in those shared desires you can perform the spiritual action. Before I heard from you that even if a friend doesn't participate, no, he can. Yes, so he can enjoy in the friend's desire with his desires. To restrict my own desires and pass it to their desires, why can't there be a mutual desire? Here there are mutual desires. I add their deficiencies to me, or do I add my deficiencies to him? Or is it like a common baby, that all this doesn't matter really? What is it to you're trying to say? What I want to ask, eventually this pleasure comes from the Creator. This is how I discover as much as the Creator loves the friends, and by that I discover my love to him and their love to me, let's say so. Yes, is that it? Though what's in the friend except for his corporeal qualities that I want to connect with him? Yeah, what is inside of the friend? Yes, except for his corporeal qualities that I do want to connect to him, that I must connect to him all of his qualities, all of his qualities, his whole attitude towards others, towards the Creator. This is what you don't have, and you want these, so that through them you will also get closer to the Creator. Who else did we have? So in order to reach the stage of love of friends, we first have to reach the stage of feeling the friends. There is no such thing, simply the feeling of the friends. That's it. In order to reach the feeling of the friends, first we need to annul. Yes, so what should we concentrate on? There's a deficiency to be in all these states, or should, let's say, I have to concentrate first on Annulment the most important is to annul. What thank you more there is no more okay. Fine oh had. Yes, in the text we read he's speaking about feeling the whole body, and there's a relation between man and his friend. Is the whole body the relation between the relation to one friend and another friend and another friend, and that's how the body is built? Or is there something additional on feeling the friend that is the actual feeling of the whole body? I don't know what to tell you. Ask that person, what do he feel, what is he drawn to, what deficiency of the friend he wants to adhere to. He wants to implement the connection between them, in which desire that's between him and the friend, something that's more exalted between them, yes, and then he has some relation to a different friend that is a relation that through me discovering more qualities, but yes, and so on and so on. So the question is, from this collection of the friends, let's call it a 10 for the matter, is there something new that is called the general body, or is it already the between one friends to the other? There's already that whole body, the whole body. Usually the whole body means general desire that is common to two or more. What does that more add? The more friends inside that the body is greater, more rich with all kinds of phenomena. So it's not enough the relation towards one friend, but from that comes a need for more. Yes, can in the quote he gives an example of the organ that adheres to the body, and then the blood and all the information goes to that organ in incorporation. It sounds a bit different. It doesn't sound that necessary like blood that brings life in practice to the body. When we incorporate between us, what actually goes through between us? What's this thing that comes to a person in a incorporation? What passes between two is what each one wants to give to pass on to the other toward a body that we're trying to connect between us and the tent. So what do the friends pass the one another? What is that thing that causes them to supposedly adhere, or something? Participation, connection, incorporation may be asked from a different direction in the human body between the organs. There are all kinds of pipelines that pass the blood. What are those pipelines between us? These are pipelines that connect between us, and through them we all receive that same blood that we did not have before, and we begin to be connected with this blood together, and then we can rise from this present degree of one, all of us together, right, of one, to higher degrees that are more special. Before, let's say, we build that common screen, that with it we can build greater degrees. So how can a person connect to that pipeline? What do I need to do, not in order to only connect and incorporate with the friends, but that it will be constant, permanent? Okay, how does it depend on the person? Yes, to what extent does he connected with others? Not only every time to try and incorporate more, but that it'll be permanent, that a permanent connection, the reason of such being, is permanent each time. These are new connections, new ties, and this is how a person becomes more and more incorporated in everyone. Thank you. No, we always try to all incorporate constantly. Let's say today we have are in the 10 where G and A sit. We're going to try to, and we're going to try and incorporate, but the feeling is always, it's kind of blurred out. You don't really understand I succeeded or not. My question is, when a person succeeds truly to anal for the first time, does he feel something else, or is it something gradual? Initially it happens slowly, later it can happen with greater strides. Does a stage come when a person feels 100% now I know, now I succeeded to honor, to incorporate something new apparently? So can the organ he's writing about, is that a 10? The organ that's no longer a T, it's more than a T, more, and the first feeling of connection of whoever's connected to that organ, is it a feeling how he sliced away from the body he is? So that's the first connection. Yes, thank you. What more? Oh, here we have only two of free is the general body, the whole creation. It's not the whole of creation, but it's some part of the whole of Creation, yes, another small question is every attainment in adhering to the friends and the creator does it go through the authority of creation? Yes, thank you, that's it. Okay, now we have Women Toronto. One, thank you, dear R. I have two questions, if I may be permitted, on the clothing. Say a friend completely clothes inside me, so I feel nothing left of me, and I'm only feeling that friend. Clothed internally, what is the influence on that friend who has me? If I connected with a friend and he connected with me, then we are in this clothing, we are as one body. I have nothing else to add. Let's say there's friends that it's very clear that they have a quality that they're very purposeful for. Instance is a friend that you feel that the greatness of the is always living in him, and a different friend, let's see you always feel the greatness of the creator living him in him, and another friend that dissemination is his whole life, and the other one devotion for the work, for the friends, and so on. So each and every one of them, he says it, he lives it, you see. That's what he is. How do you build our a body from those wonderful qualities of the front? How does a body do you get built from that? It's like we connect between us. That is how we build one body that includes all the spiritual desires. A body has something living. There's an interaction between the organs. There's common devotion, yes, also with us. We'll reveal that and what kinds of interactions. It's impossible to depict how much that will become revealed, so we just have to adhere to the wonderful qualities of the friends, to honor towards them, just to work with them as much as possible, and to see before us that same body that we build. We are learning a revolutionary process that from two separate vessels, one vessel is born. That's something completely new, I guess. That's already a spiritual connection with the 10 that is just connected. It's like the commando. Is that the beginning of spirituality? Yes, so my question is, there's an analogy maybe with this world, that let's say still all the atoms are conned. They're to great masses, but it's just a simple connection, and what we're learning about now, it's a transition from the still to the first level of the anime. Can we say that you can say that I understood that connection and incorporation is two different things? That's what you explained, yes. In order to connect, we're doing a lot of exercises, we have meals, and in order to incorporate, should we do something different, or are we going to keep doing the same things through that we come to incorporation? So externally, there's no activity or action that will help us incorporate more. No, there are no other actions, so how will it happen? It will happen from that in which we want to be incorporated together in one desire, in one intention, with one goal, with one thought. So it's the next degree of connection is incorporation. Incorporation can, yes, I thought if I have to take the forces from the friends and each one, what Ket said, each one has something unique that I can take an example from, in some way incorporate. One is good and greatness of the love, the other in greatness of dissemination, the third in greatness of the creator. He has words for it. So in horror, to take the forces and incorporate, we need more connection with the friends in such a way, or does it happen on its own? If you incorporate, let's say, with one friend, so through that you incorporate with the collective of the group, the whole of the group, and when you unite that whole of the group, then you continue with onward. I don't know how to express that. So how does it work? I see that it's important to incorporate with the friends when they ask a question. Let's say yes, so Gad ask the question, I incorporate through him. I incorporate with his old 10, even though I have no connection with the friends in his 10. I don't even know who they are, so through him I'm getting it from each and every one. Yes, so that's one thing. Let's see in the lesson, we incorporate with questions. During also a person stands up, a friend says something, I can incorporate the question. Is her there more activities, all the opportunities that you use to connect you, so you connect with several points in the entire group, and at the end of it all it becomes like a bowl. Usually it's subconscious, even subconsciously, even subconsciously from there it will rise to consciousness. Yes, it seems that before we talk about incorporation, there has to be an element of annulment in order for the incorporation to start happening. So what is the trigger for to slice something off of myself so in that place I can start feeling the friend? I don't know what you're asking. Let's say if I want to feel the friend. So first I have to annul something of myself. Yes, what is the condition for this annulment of something of myself? What's the shortest way to annul something of myself? Simply when you're in connection with the friends and you according to the topic, according to the study, according to what you are, and you want to annul yourself. So against that, to the same extent you feel what state you rise to, you're not asking about. That is there some mechanism, some trigger I can use also. When we read test or Z and we want to connect the writer, so is there something that lets us annul ourselves and then supposedly everything he wants to give us flow to us, or is there something that maybe I don't and all and text remains just blocked? Same thing when I feel the friend might be the way I'm impressed from a friend. Sometimes I'm blocked and sometimes I'm with tears and excitement of his words. What is the most effective means to annul myself and be excited from the friends? Because if not, I won't incorporate, I won't feel the friend. It's like I'm blocked and sometimes everything is open and the friend. You. Just what can you recommend? What's the best way to feel the friend in such a way to work on importance that those things are of utmost importance and we want to engage in those things, and then we will turn on other things in return and we'll thank you. Yes. Die. Yes, maybe they're friends that are more, you see them more, they're more active. They ask questions, it's easier to incorporate with them because they express themselves more. But what about friends that are silent, quiet? It's like they're like fish, you don't know what's happening there. How can you incorporate with such a friend? I feel those friends, I would say, not less than those who shout and who are prominent because their desire is even more prominent. Precisely those quiet ones bring this clarity. How do you feel that desire? Cause what I hear in order to incorporate, I hear his question. He's speaking about some action. I am asking if a person just sits and he's silent, how can I incorporate with him or through him if it's not through a conversation or speech? That's my question. How to incorporate with a friend, not through speech, but through all kinds of qualities, motions, words. Something. Do I need to be with the friends in the same space in order to incorporate? It's desirable that he will be with us. Yes, that means throughout the day. No, it's not important during the day. Can I think of a friend and by that I'm incorporating with him my thought on him? Yes, okay, so incorporation is a lot higher than connection. Yes, so why do we say that connection is a solution for everything? Incorporation is a connection for everything. No, all in all. That's how we say it. Thank you. Can. Yes, in this world, a connection between people, whether biological or emotional, by them getting closer between them, that brings sensitivity towards one another in some way or another. When we come close between us and the 10 and I feel their friend and I'm sensitive towards him, how do we know that that sensitivity brings us to a spiritual advancement? And it's not a matter of conscience or things of this world. It is because here in the basis of the connection between us acts desire, the inner desire of a person who wishes to attain his purpose in life. Therefore it is very precious to him. So the purpose to begin with is what we come to the connection for. Yes, can I determine or make sure that when I connect to the friends, I'm only connecting to that pure quality with a pure intention, and I leave the rest out of the connection? No, if you can do that, so go for it. But if you cannot, if you don't feel what extent of cleanness and what quality you sow that doesn't happen that way, then is there something we can do as a preparation to the action of connection in order to slice that dirty intention off, and only the pure one will enter? No, you need to do exercises with Everyone with all the friends. Can we say that that's the reason in? Cooperation is the reason a cyst needs to work, and he needs to go out to the world and be connected because he's also incorporated. They know a capitalist usually doesn't go out to the world in order to connect, but still we do have incorporation with the world you live in. The world you don't really connect with the world why each one is now going to work and with what is his choice he's in. Connection with people he hears the news. But that's not the same connection we're talking about, but it still influences, yet sure it influences so. That's also incorporation, yes, and does a person have the powers to stop that type of incorporation? There is, and there is a way of opposing that, of resisting that, but we'll go through that. Yes, okay friends. Well, is there a connection between incorporation and the final goal for the benefit of their creator? Is it something that can help us advance towards it, to feel it more? Yes, that needs to be one in the other. Should that be the first motive